Oh, okay. Well, welcome back to episode 2 of the Blood Angels Death Company. Now, just as I promised, we're going to try to do this technique. Now, the reason I bothered even painting it red instead of painting it black, for those of you that don't know, is because we're going for this kind of effect. Now, I painted this guy silver underneath. I was doing a pre-Primark kind of thing, and you could see how the metal is still showing through, like I had scorched the armor. Because I believe in this kind of time frame, they are not going to give them black armor. They're not going to bother. That's something for my homebrew right there. So we're going to go for it with this Blood Angel. To give him that scorched look, and to do so, we're going to go with this Vallejo black. Just a straight up matte. I'm going to get a pretty decent size blip right there. There you go. And of course, to achieve this, we're going to be using this. Now, all we need to do is rip off a corner. Doesn't need to be huge, but it can't be too small either because it's a bitch to work with. Uh-oh, sneeze alert. Woo! Excuse me. Nope, might happen again. Here we go. Maybe. Damn. Ain't that about a bitch? Whew. Hopefully that is not going to be a problem for this episode. I did run downstairs and grab some allergy medicine because I am sick and tired of this. It's coming again. I swear, man, that's some bullshit. Either way, it's going to be real simple. We're just going to take this and we're going to bloop, 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 bloop all over it. But we're not going to try to be too careless with it. So, you see we've got that, right? But I'm still going to dab some on here, spread it around the sponge, or the foam, however you want to think of it. I don't really care. I'm going to spread it around, and we're going to do a test dab. All right. You see that? Gives it nice, bubbly, kind of grainy looking. I don't want to dab too much on certain flat spots because I just don't want it to be too matted. I would like the metal or the red to poke through, you know? So yeah, this part is going to be a little bit of a challenge for me. And see, all that black right there? That is precisely why I wanted to leave the leather alone. We can come back and do that again later. Make that leather stand out. Plus, it'll give us some depth. Some variation in the color and everything like that. I very much enjoy this kind of technique because it's not your traditional kind of painting. It takes a little bit of finesse. It's not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. But I am going to have to start using the tweezers maybe to really get in there. Because that red is supposed to poke through, but we can't have it being too ridiculous here. Because, let's face it, even though they are scorching their armor, they can get more accuracy than we can. So it actually has to look like they actually tried. But I really do like this technique, man. This shit is really cool. It's really fun. It gives an interesting texture as well. If you do it enough. But let's see. I almost thought about doing a flesh tear. I really did, just because I'm more partial to the flesh tears. And that was something on my list of things to talk about, was my love for the flesh tearers, and a justification. Well, not really a justification, just like why I love them so much, what they personally mean to me. I'd once talked about it on Reddit, and apparently, well, go figure, it's Reddit. That just was not the place to talk to anybody about anything. At least not in that community. I don't know, that everybody was kind of being dicks about it. Maybe I was just being too negative, which is a possibility and fine. If I was being too negative, I'd rather be told that. Been like, nope, we're not going to listen to you on this because too much negativity, which I can absolutely accept. All right, what we're going to do is switch over to this thinner part. Get some black on there. Blub, 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 blub. Get a bunch of that black paint off of there because we don't need too much, but we are going to try to get into these recesses, which is going to be tough. Because this is only a little foamy sponge. It's not going to be the easiest to work with here. But we need to get into all of the recesses here because this is supposed to look like some completely scorched armor and not just like, oh, well, I couldn't get into that spot. Red is supposed to show through here. But I think the thing about Reddit, if I was being too negative, son of a bitch. All right, we're just going to have to ditch that for a second. Was the fact that my love for Gabriel Seth it stems back to a time in childhood when bullying was just, a thing. And I'm not even really against bullying, ironically. Not going to take that stance of bring bullying back, although sometimes people make me really want to scream that because people are just disgusting. But that's a whole nother cynical side to me that we're not going to get into. We just might have to get in there with a brush. But either way, yeah. Bullied, made me a bitter person, made me angry. Even my mother used to say, you were such a happy boy. Yeah, and then people happened. And I lost the happiness. And I only lost the happiness because I let them affect me. Yeah, my love of the flesh terrors is something, to me, special and profound because it addresses my rage. I just realized I was doing all that off camera. Sorry. And even violent tendencies. Not that I'm really a violent person anyway. It's just the fact that certain people, they really need a hug with a shovel to the temple. And you know the type of people. even the most friendly people in the world are like, oh yeah, some people, they really just need that in their life because there's no other way for them to cooperate. There is no other way for them to understand. So we kind of need to, someone has to put them in their place, and it's a shame that no one has. And I would love to. Oh, excuse me. Now I'm burping. Woohoo! We've got our monster Java here today. And that's not looking too bad at all, man. You see it's starting to cake. That red is still showing through. I think it might be okay right there. So we're going to move on. We're going to switch this thing around and back to this and get that flat part going. Up. There we go. And dab. 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 Blub, 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 blub. What a fun little project, right? And so you still got some of that black in the creases and the deep recesses, and that's okay. We can leave that. We're not making this pretty. Basically what we're going for here is the fact that the Blood Angels just, so what they did was they scorched their brother's armors. The one Pulsion that we are going to leave alone is this one. That one we're going to make nice and pretty. And I know we didn't do all the metal on this one. It's okay, because we can come back in with that. I think I kind of meant to do the metal, but like I said, it's okay. This does not need to be perfect. We can repeat steps if needed. And this sponge effect is blah, 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 blah. As you can see, it's coming off of this tacky now. Oh, it fell. That's all right. We could use blip, 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 blip. Use that to our advantage. And black that out. All right, that'll work. All right, this stuff is actually the Gorilla Glue mounting stuff. That's what we've been using here. The tacky, or the tack, however we want to call it. I don't know. I was running out of the normal tack that I had, and this stuff actually works just fine for us. Alright, that's looking real grainy. We'll let that sit over there and dry. Now we can get to this arm. Arm might be a little bit of a bitch because of all the recesses, but that's okay. And we are going to go back and paint this this sword, of course, don't worry. So there's absolutely going to be a next episode because we're already about 15 minutes in, and we don't have any of the details done, nor have we started on them really. So for anybody worried that there might be a really short series, and I was wondering how short the series might be, it's going to be at least a three-parter, because I also need to do the base. I was going to do that Martian Iron Earth, the stuff that cracks as it dries, which I know my coworker who was watching this the last series the Proto-Marines, he really was enjoying that paint. He said he was really curious to how that was going to turn out, and I was like, well, you've seen the shorts, so you've seen the bases, how they kind of look, but it is interesting to see it paint or dry in quote unquote real time. And I think to even showcase some of that, I might that might be like the first thing that I paint when it comes to the next episode, is to do that base. That way you can see that thing from the very beginning to the end of the episode and see how far that goes. But we also need to dry brush some weathering to it, to the model, to make it look, like they were there. Because having a very specific base, but like no effects, depending on the base design, like if you're doing a marble floor, of course, there's not really going to be, an effect on your armor. It's not like marble is chipping away and caking to you. If it was, I'd have been like, dude, you need to get someone who knows what they're doing with that marble work. All right. Get all up in those cracks. Make that very blacked out with peaks of red, because some of this is going to be not visible. And we're going to take another look at him. All right. Very matted, a little caked in certain areas. That's awesome. Red is still showing through. I know it might be a little hard to see, but we're basically, we're doing good. We're doing all right, man. I like it. It's a fun experience. Although I don't like his inner thigh right there. So we're gonna go for that. It's too much red. It's too much red showing in there, you know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern? There's a character I miss. I miss Jim Varney. I really, really do. I remember when I was younger, it was in 2000. So I was in like 5th grade. And I remember seeing, it's just a really small article in the paper that Jim Varney had died. And I think my parents had left that article open and on the front, just sitting there on the kitchen counter for me to maybe see. Otherwise, I don't see any other reason why it would have been there the way it was. Which, it breaks my heart. Because I grew up watching the Ernest movies, and I absolutely adore Ernest. There's something so funny and pure about him. And it just breaks my heart. But with that heartbreaking news, I think we are going to... Are we going to end things that early? I don't know. We just might. And I'm also not sure what to do with that symbol. I think we are going to paint it. So why don't you and I just go ahead. We're going to do it. We're going to make it look pretty. They scorched the armor, right? But it's okay. They made sure to avoid the Aquila. I did it to the other guy. I put his belt all nice and shiny again. So we're going to make his chest stand out. Go make it pop. Because we're only at about 19-20 minutes. Which is fine. I don't mind making some shorter episodes. But there we go. All right. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because we're going to go back in with the, where is it? The gunmetal. Shake, 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 shake. Get some of that. Bloop. Just not too much. I mean, I do have a lot of gunmetal to do, but it's alright. And we will need that white. And if you can already guess what I'm going to do, you're either really smart, I'm either really predictable, or maybe you've even done it yourself. But as you can see, only going for half the wing, because that will be white. And that's the way, I like it. It's been working out. I dig it. All right. Smooth it out. There we go. That'll work. And we were even going to do the same kind of thing to here. As you can see, it's got this little part right here, then it has the wings. So we are going to do that in silver. Or in gunmetal. Because the silver does have its own. And we are going to use our glistening blood for the blood droplet. I thought about using the silver on it, but might be a little stupid. All right. It'd be a tiny little detail like that, but that's okay. Set that aside so that can dry real quick. And we're going to get our Corax white. Like I said last time in the Proto-Marine series, this stuff is awesome, man. You know, you usually have to put like maybe 2 layers. It depends. Depends on what you're doing and what you're going for. I have not done this over black as far as I'm aware. I've only painted this stuff over gray, maybe red. So I'm not sure how this is going to hold up over black. But it looks like it's going on very stark. But then again, it is very fresh. So, you know, and my mind just jumped to something. I was at work the other day, and I was having a conversation with somebody from maintenance, and they were like, they were talking about jobs and what they used to do, and I was talking about what I used to do. But most of the stuff I had done was security work. And they were like, well, you know, I'm like, well, all right, so that's what you are then. You're just you're a security guy. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not. He was like, what the hell you mean? That's what you've been doing the most. You're good at it, so you're a security guy. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm a professional mini painter. And of course, he didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, at miniatures for tabletop games, things like that. And he was like, oh, you mean like D&D and other like war games? I'm like, yeah. Sorry, dude. I don't think of myself as a security guy. I fucking hate security. All right. I am not a security guy. Now, my inner Tyler Durden kept screaming in my head, you are not your job. You are not your job. You're not the contents of your wallet. You're not the pants you wear. You're not the car you drive. All this other shit was just screaming in my head, and I was like, all right, chill there, buddy. I was like, if I'm going to be known as anything, if people are like, oh, what are you? I'm a professional painter. I am not going to be telling people that I am a security officer, security guard, supervisor, whatever you want to think of it as. Because that is one of those conversations I kind of hate in public. Is, oh, what do you do? I don't really care what I do for a living, all right? This is what I want to be doing for a living. The fact that I work somewhere providing security, quote unquote, for people is neither here nor there. I don't give a shit. In that aspect, I don't give a shit about any of that. But regardless, you guys see this big X? I don't remember what I used. I'm pretty sure it wasn't my contrast paint. Pretty sure it was going to be that. But the reason it's not pristine, like this number 9 on there, even though it is caked over, don't worry about that, is because I needed it to look like it was just painted on, just real quick. They just grabbed a brush, like you might have seen in the movie Gladiator, and how they just blah, 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 dabbed him with yellow or red and told him to get the fuck moving. It's basically what I wanted for the red X on them, was just a stamp, move. Whew. But either way, let's take a quick comparison to these. Get that stuff in the light. And yeah, I'd say that graininess really did show up. So it looks like they scorched it. It looks like they bubbled it a bit. And the red is still kind of showing. That's okay. If it really bothers me, I can get in there, but it's not really bothering me that much. That little part under the knee might. But it's okay. You're not going to see too much of it, believe it or not. The whole point is to just make it look like it was scorched armor. And I believe we have more or less achieved that. So, with that, I will bid you all adieu, and I will see you on the next episode. This is probably going to be a 4 episode again, seeing how long each thing has taken me, even though we're moving along a lot faster. You know, I still have, wow, I still have the leather to do. I still have the chainsword and the bolter. There's still plenty to do here, so I will see you guys on the next one, all right? Void Father, please guide their brushes, and stay safe, stay healthy. Laters, everybody! Boom!